Hi, I think pretty much everybody is aware what gouache is. Uh, yeah, and today I thought we'll paint this one. I tried this one without the border. You can go anyways. This looks quite different and pretty, but it keeps this putting the border keeps it fixed. So I find it easier. Uh, yeah, and I'll be using this Brustro gouache set that I have. We have a very limited palette that is required here. Uh, the main attraction that is this pink, fluorescent pink, and this yellow green, teal blue, and this is that sap green and olive green. You can even mix black or brown with this green. Um, and of course, we will need white and some brown, burnt sienna. You can use any brown you have and a little bit of yellow ochre to go with it. So these are the shades we'll be using. As a tip, I'm not very fond of using white gouache, so I usually use this poster color which is really white. I have used, if you see, I've used here, this is the gouache, but it doesn't give the nice white look that poster color gives.
So, Prak, what do you think is the primary difference between poster colors and gouache? There are a lot of people who want to try gouache but find it expensive. Will poster colors actually act as a
Yeah,
replacement
yeah,
there?
if they will. See, the thing is, poster colors give a little bit of chalky effect. So to avoid that, it's pretty much same, almost 95%. I'm told technically like the particles are larger and the particles are smaller. But from what I see is that the particles they are more creamy and you get that matte finish but no chalky look if you see.
Hmm.
See this. It's just
So,
matte
the
but no
techniques, do
chalky.
they fare the same?
Yeah, it's definitely the same. The techniques are the same. There's absolutely no difference. Even acrylic for that matter, it's just that you have to be fast, but there's no difference actually.
That's great.
Okay. Okay, so starting. Hi all. Hi, I see so many people. Thank you for joining. Hi. Okay, starting with the sketch. I'm drawing a rough line here and some random mountains to go with it. Is it visible, the sketch?
Yes, Prak, that's visible. Yes.
Thank you. And some pathway. Yeah, that's about it. This is all we need for this. Yeah, the black paper I'm using is this Brustro Black Sketchbook A5 size. It's 200 GSM.
So, will we get the same result if we try it on a white paper? Is there any pros to using a black paper here?
Uh, there's no pros as such. If you use a white paper, what happens is that it'll be more bright. Your painting is much more brighter.
Hmm.
Uh, the tone is a little subdued on black, and you need more paint on black paper. So you'll
Okay.
see,
Okay, I
this
get
is
that.
on white paper. See, these are all on white
Wow.
paper. Even on black paper, you would have seen a tone lesser. The white wouldn't be this white. So when we select
Hmm.
what paper we are using, we need to know see, for example, this wouldn't look that great on a black paper. That brightness and shine wouldn't be there.
Okay, so it's about whether we want a vibrant one or a little subdued one.
Yeah. But sometimes, you're painting light. So, a sparkler, for example, that's you
Mm.
might think that you will need more bright, but for the bright to be, look great, you'll need the help of that black. So that's when black is
Okay,
actually helpful. See,
that was so beautiful. It's one of my favorites from your collection.
thank you so much. Shalini here loves that a combination of gouache and black, and even I think that gouache and black paper are made for each other. Hi, Parma. Okay, so and another thing when we paint, what we need to remember is starting from where do we start? So always start from the thing that is at the back, exactly at the back. So what we see is the sky, and on top of that is the clouds, and in front of that is the mountains. And then so we have to come forward.
Okay.
So yeah, especially in gouache and acrylic, that technique really helps. Okay. So I have this palette. It's a airtight palette, but trust me, gouache is best when used fresh. So you see all that hardened, it's pretty much useless, and it doesn't give you that creamy look that is required in a gouache. Hi Nikita. Hi
But
Smita.
it's possible to re-wet them, is it?
It's possible to rewet. It will mostly act like watercolors, and you won't get that opaque look that is required.
Oh,
Okay, so let's start. So this is one of my favorite brushes. It's not the company, but it's the angle. It's an angular
mm.
brush. Really, really versatile in using for different places, like thin, thick, however you want.
And what's the size of the brush, Prak?
This is size 2.
Okay.
Since I'm using a A5, this is enough for as A5. So I'm just laying it on thick. Since it's a black paper, I really need lots and lots of paint. So if
So
you're
one
painting
good
and
thing about
tell
oh
me.
yes, go on, Prak.
So if you're painting, do post it and tag me. I would like to see your creations. Yeah, Shalini, you were asking something.
So one good thing is we don't need much planning here. We can go about in multiple layers unlike watercolors, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
envious of that.
Watercolors, you really need to know what you're doing. Here,
Exactly,
not
the
so much.
clouds especially. There's no
Yeah,
going
yeah.
back in watercolors.
There's no going back for anything in watercolors.
Yeah.
So clouds are like really difficult in watercolors. Negative painting is probably the only way. Shalini here is an expert on watercolors. Yes.
Not exactly an expert in watercolor paintings, but
No, no, you
I
should
love
see her
researching
feed.
about
She
them.
has so much knowledge and it's really gold, all that. To get in one place, you really must visit her.
That's a big compliment. Thank you, Prak.
You deserve it. Hi, Kanchan. Thank you so much all for joining. I know it's a long weekend. Lot of people are traveling this weekend. Thank you so much. I, even there is this another person I would like to thank today. It's Diana from Diana Gets Social. She's the one who's been asking me to do all this for a long time. Finally, I think now is the time. I don't know why I was hesitating. I really love teaching, love painting. It's all a great combination, and with so many friends and so many supporters, I don't know, I'm having a good time.
We'd
Hi,
love to learn
Arpita.
from you.
Thank you, thank you. I hope so. I am useful here. Okay, so actually we are supposed to paint clouds, but since we are live, I'll paint the mountains for now.
Is there any minimum GSM that we need for gouache for the
Uh,
of the paper?
Except for A4, because it'll eat up all that water. I think gouache is really versatile. You can paint it on any kind of paper. I prefer at least above 150 GSM. 200 is really good. But the best thing I have noticed is hot pressed. If you're going in lot of details, hot press 300 GSM works great.
Okay,
Otherwise, even cold press 300 GSM is also good.
but with cold press, we'd need a little more paint, is it? Because of the texture.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We do need.
Hi, Amita.
Hi, Amita. Hi. Thank you for joining. Hi, Meena. So during my 100 days challenge, this gouache was actually a lifesaver. Doing watercolors or acrylic really takes lot of time. This needs very little time, space, and everything is just, very, very easy with gouache. If you have not tried it, I really, really ask you to try it. It's really awesome. You'll enjoy it more than anything. It's not a strain. Sometimes, we feel like we have to give good results. With gouache, it's nothing like that. It's very enjoyable.
You're tempting me actually. I've been wanting to try gouache for some time now, especially seeing your black paper series.
It's worth it. It's worth every penny you are spending on gouache. It really is. It's more enjoyable. It also helps me in making compositions. Like if I'm going on a big acrylic painting, so
Hmm.
I do it first in gouache and see how it looks. So it's a lot
Uh,
easier and helps me with the color combinations.
so how's the drying time for gouache in between acrylics and watercolors?
I would say it's pretty much close to acrylic. I think it's much faster. It's already dried this layer.
Wow.
Yeah. It's no headache in any way. Meena, you should try. Yes, yes, you can paint it with acrylic, but only blending you have to do it immediately. Okay, so I
So
am
tell us
starting now
something
with the,
about your inspiration. Where do you get inspiration for all your paintings?
like most artists, it's from Pinterest. But I come from a place where it's all nice to watch, enjoy. My place is full of beaches. I come from Udupi, which is a coastal area in Karnataka, and
I see the
even
pictures.
yeah, it is. Even now, the place where I am, it's a Malnad region, lot of plants, trees. It's all very beautiful around me. Everything is inspiring. So yeah, I have also on the same note, many people have asked me like, how your paintings are much brighter, look much better. So this trick is something I found over the years. What I do is I edit the pictures that I find on Pinterest. I edit it to a great extent so it looks better on my paintings. Sometimes what happens is even though a picture is really good, it won't look good when you paint. So that part is really important where you picturize like how it will look once you paint it. Even though if a photograph is good, sometimes after you paint it really looks bad. So the main
Hmm.
reason is we need to picturize beforehand like what will happen once we paint? Will it look the same?
Yeah, that's very important, I think. It's
Yeah.
happened to me.
Yeah, I know I have wasted so many with that thing.
And how do you choose what colors go well? So there's something called making the painting pop to make it
Yeah,
look good. And the color
yeah,
combinations, how do you generally go by choosing the colors?
yeah. There's a trick for that. Actually, there are even apps for that. But my trick is I don't use apps, but I do take the help of a phone. If you see this photograph, I think it's not visible, right? Let me dim this one. Okay,
Yeah.
you can see this photo, right? So I have edited for it to look like this. Do you
Wow.
see the vibrance? You see a lot
Yeah,
of difference, right?
from almost a monochrome to a very vibrant one. The green is
Yeah.
dominant in the edited one.
See, even this, it looks very dull. But once
Yeah,
you edit it, this is how it looks.
I think that's going to be a valuable valuable trick for me.
Great, great. I'm so glad. See, this is that painting. It will be
Wow.
even more bright when you paint.
So this one was with gouache or acrylics?
This is watercolors.
Wow. I wonder
Yeah,
how you do so much detailed work. I'm not a details person when it comes to watercolors because of the time it takes.
yeah, it does take a lot of time, but it's more habitual than a skill, I think. I mostly
Hmm.
painted in acrylics since I was a child. It was always poster colors and acrylics, and detailing is really required usually. See, all that
Okay.
soft blending is something I saw recently after joining Instagram. But before that, we only knew realistic and detailed. So it's more of a
Okay,
habit than a skill.
that's nice to hear.
I really want to give it up, you know. It's not necessary to paint everything. It's good to paint for things to look like them, not exactly be there, you know. It's a lot
Hmm.
straining.
So we've gone with a coat of dark green and light green, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just blending as I go. For me, I prefer my paintings to have some brush strokes. I don't want it to look like a photograph. So that's just my preference. I'm not telling it's bad, but I like a painting to look like a painting. The impressionist style is something that draws me a lot, but I'm not able to achieve 100% of it. So adding some
So with
depth to the line.
acrylics, this texture is easier, is it?
Yeah, it's a lot easy, it's a lot smoother and faster. But this is mainly because it's black paper, it's consuming a lot of paint. Otherwise, it's fine.
Okay.
So I'll be using this olive green next for the lower part.
That's for the plants, right? The
Yeah, yeah,
flower
that's for,
ones.
yeah, yeah. We need a darker background for the lighter things to pop. So it's all that
Okay.
shadow that is going to be there. We are pretty much done. There isn't anything much in this painting.
And it's very surprising for me. The time you showed me for the first time, I thought it's so beautiful and it looks so vibrant. I never thought it could be so easy. But when you're painting now, I'm realizing has it got only so many steps. It looks simple now.
Yeah, I have been waiting, for something like this to pop into my head. I really wanted very simple thing. I'm not used to painting simple things, it's always all that so many components, all complicated stuff. It's like when I get that time, I really want to, invest in it. So I usually look for complicated, but these days I'm trying to refrain from doing that.
But I must say, Instagram is full of stuff like these, simple yet vibrant. And I think that naturally people like because it consumes lesser time and
Probably,
it's easy for
probably.
beginners.
Yeah, yeah, it is easy for beginners. And most people are here to learn. That's what I realized. Even I joined Instagram because I wanted to learn. Hi, Tarang. Hi, Chandrani. Hi, Somi. Hi, all. Hi, Ramu. Now, here we need to know a technique for the clouds. I'll be using this old brush of mine. If you see the tips, they're really gone. See, acrylic users will have a lot of brushes that are gone wild. So these are pretty much useless for any. What I've done is I've taken this white paint here and just hold on, too much paint on my brush. Just lightly make these marks. And now with this brush, not the whole thing, the middle part. We want the sides to look really white. Clouds look great when you add some wisps to it. See these part. That is what makes it look natural. Adding some more white.
Kanchan says, wow, it's so amazing to see you, Bragg. Agreed, 100%.
Thank you, girls. Thank you so much.
Especially clouds with acrylics is something I never got, but seeing you do it so easily,
It's very
I'm
easy. It's very
wondering.
easy. You must try. You must try. It's very easy. The main hero here is that that old brush.
Yeah.
If you don't have an old brush, let's say you're a beginner, what you can do is buy a local brush for like 20, 10, 20 rupees. Add some paint to
Hmm.
it. and leave it for drying. All the bristles, leave it for drying, and there you go. You have a nice bristled brush. Have those wispy clouds here. Add little bit of darker whites. Thank you, Meena. Thank you. You can have some darker clouds here and there.
So one question I've always had is how many clouds are too many clouds? I either end up adding too much or too little.
I think that's something we need to practice. Even I have that question, like always after I paint or before I paint, when should I stop? So what I do is
Stars and clouds, especially.
I observe stars. I don't have that problem because I use a toothbrush. So just one or two times I go all over the place and that's it. But
Wow.
clouds, that's what I have started doing is I've started observing. So
Hmm.
I really look a lot at clouds. I see how they form, what time of the day, how they look.
Wow, that's a lot of observation. Being a beginner, these days I realize there's been a change. Like I always observe things, nature. So how, if it's a mystic pines, then how does it look? And all those things I've started observing,
Yeah.
but this is hyper level observation from your side, I say.
These days I've started seeing everything pixelated. Dissect it into colors. It's sometimes so good, and I've really stopped enjoying nature like I used to. It's all different now.
Looks like that's something inherent to all artists,
Maybe.
seeing things as paintings.
Ooh, I love that, Shalini. Is that your painting?
Yeah, I actually got inspired by Crazy Doodler's painting, Vinita.
Ah,
So I tried this, but I never got to post it. Yet to
it's
post it.
beautiful. You
Bit
must
lazy for
post.
that.
Hi, Sreshta. Hi, Sri. Some of the names I'm not able to get. Thank you. Draw me artworks. Thank you. Okay, so I'm adding another hero element here. Uh, the pink flowers. So that is what makes it pops. This is one of my favorite color. I'm not a pink fan, but somehow this fluorescent color is just joy to paint.
Me neither. I'm not a pink fan.
But this I've
But
seen.
yeah, bright colors make it pop so well, especially the neons.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I got a set of neon in poster colors. I add it here and there. Mix it with white and you have the most beautiful skies.
Wow.
So, since this is a valley, we will not have it everywhere. So, I'm adding it using the angular side of the brush.
Okay.
Oh, nice one, Shalini. What is this? Is this acrylic?
Yeah, this one this was my first acrylic actually. I painted seeing Shiba Basin's tutorial
Ah,
on YouTube.
nice, nice. It's nice. Ooh, yeah, both of us have started our YouTube channels, guys. Do visit if you have time. Like, subscribe, comment. Don't forget to press the bell icon. It's all become
A typical YouTuber.
yeah. Have to learn. I think that's about it. Okay. So I'll add the road now. I'm mixing white with the yellow ochre and I don't know how many of your see this is one drawback of gouache. It reactivates the previous paint. See, this became green.
Oh yeah.
So
So even if it's fully dried, does this happen?
yeah, yeah, it does happen. A little more water and that happens. See, when you use dried paints and reactivate on your palette,
Hmm.
it happens.
So the same thing happens here.
Yeah, yeah. I think I used a little bit of dried paint. because I didn't want too much, and this happened. Okay, I'm rectifying my mistake. I'm taking fresh paints. See, most of the time, what I found was I couldn't do clouds with gouache. Clouds and fire, I really had a problem because it was reactivating the layers that were there below it.
So it's better to use fresh paints for them.
Yeah, it's always better to. That is the trick. See, everybody said wait for it to dry. In spite of drying, I always had that trouble. Then I figured like fresh paint is what is bringing about the difference. So yeah, this road looks really new. We need to make it a bit old. These all these remaining shades on the palette, no, they are actually gold to me. I love them, love to add shadows. I don't know what colors they are, just a mix of few colors, blues, purples, blacks, whatever is remaining. I don't wash them because they are very, really very helpful to adding
Yeah,
depth.
it pains to actually wash my palette. You mean emotionally? That's a lot of paint. Why waste it? That's what.
Especially watercolors, they are so expensive too.
Yeah. But it's very fascinating when I did my research, I started seeing how each pigment is obtained, so how each paint
Yeah,
is created. When I
it's way too much.
learned about that, I was just stunned. Somebody has to go down the mines deep under the earth just to get a pigment for us to have paints. So that's when I started valuing my paints more. It doesn't matter whether it's a student grade one or an artist grade one. Whatever it is, a paint is still precious.
So, even if it's a student grade, the pigments are obtained through all that method, is it?
Yeah,
I
but
thought
the
it was only
concentration
artist
of the
grade.
pigment is only lesser.
Okay, okay. That's nice to know.
They add things called fillers in there, or we have these things called pure pigments. Like if it's from a single pigment, the color is going to be very vibrant, and even when you mix color mixing, especially
Ah.
why we want pure pigments is for color mixing. See, I have one pigment and I mix it with another color with a single pigment. That time it means you're only mixing two pigments. So still the color
Oh.
is gonna look good. In case I have a paint with three different pigments in it already. The manufacturer has used three different pigments, and
Mm-hmm.
I mix another paint with two pigments in it. You think you are mixing just two paints, but what you're actually doing is mixing five pigments, and you never know which pigment will react how to the other one. So that's
Yeah.
when you get muddy colors. To avoid muddy colors, that's one reason. And for the light fastness, like single pigment colors are said to last longer. So these
Oh,
are the reasons why artists are after the single pigment colors.
oh, okay, okay. For the long lasting,
Yeah.
that's nice. Okay, so I've started adding the stalks. I'm using a rigger brush, one of my most favorite brush. It's so versatile, especially making branches and grass is a joy with it.
So there's something beautiful about the rigger brush as well, how
Yeah.
it got its name.
Oh, okay.
Earlier, uh, artists used to use this kind of brush to paint. There'll be wooden handles and all in boats, the
Ah, yeah,
poles and wooden handles. So those
yeah.
were called riggers. In order to paint those riggers, artists used to use this brush, and that's how it got its name, rigger brush.
But the that big oar and this small brush, is it?
I'm sorry?
The oars are quite big, right? So they were
Oh,
painting
no, no,
that.
not the oars. Like in the ships, there'll be handles where you place your hands, you hold, right,
Ah,
in the edge of the
okay, okay,
ship.
okay, okay, okay.
They used to be made of wood or steel, and those used to be thin poles. So people, for intricate details, people will use these rigger brushes. And over the days, it got named as rigger brush itself.
So mix them black with the dark. Sorry, the light. The this green. So what green is that? Sap green. Yeah, the colors are different in this brushstroke wash. The sap green doesn't look like a sap green. So this is some to add depth.
So yeah, how important is depth and highlight in any painting? Like they are seen as small steps, but there's a lot of understanding that goes into them, right? How
Yeah.
does a beginner get to know about them and learn from it?
See, I have seen a lot of people painting such wonderful paintings. Even people who have asked me, I've told them, shadows and depth is what is going to change your painting to from a student style to an artist style. Shadow when you add depth is like when you add the darker parts and the lighter parts, you make the lighter parts pop out. So all that thing is going to add that extra, factor to your painting. So that's going to pop out when people see. See, if I'd simply made stocks over here and not added that black, see, you can see the difference, how much difference it made just adding those colors. It looks really flat, like how we used to make like when we were kids, just flat colors. And
Yeah.
shadows is something that is going to give a 3D look to your painting. So you want your paintings to look realistic. Really implore you to start working on this depth and shadows. Shadows is really easy. You just have to look at the picture and see where they have shown the shadows. And if you're having trouble, you can always use the edit option of any pictures. You have tools. Just increase the shadows, and you can see. Hi, Ishan. Hi, hi. Hi, 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 so many people. Thank you, Nikita. So nice to see you all. Okay. So I'm not really happy with how that sap green is looking. It's not supposed to look like that. I think I have to mix colors. So what I'm doing is I'm mixing their sap green, which is kind of a, light green. I'm mixing it with little black and chrome yellow to get that actual, see, this is the color I'm looking for. Okay. So now the lower part is supposed to be, is this clear what you're seeing?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So lower part is supposed to be more darker, this part. So I'm adding more dark green. No, sometimes all this learning about pigments and all the technical details has actually killed the joy of painting for me. I
I think it
like
happens
being
for most of the
innocent and
people.
oh great. I thought I was the only weird one. It was so much
You know
simpler.
what?
You
Amidst
just
all such people, I feel weird
why?
having all that information.
No, no, I'm not telling everybody. See, even I am learning, and it's great to know because when you're purchasing paints, it is a requirement, especially when you're investing in watercolors.
Absolutely.
But it was so much simpler when we didn't know. See, I like doing
Ha.
this, flicking motion with rigor, keeping the rigor flat. So actually, it gives you a lot of texture, which adds that mystery part. You don't know what's happening, but still you can see that it's lush. Hi, Amruta. Is anybody painting here with me? So I'm adding this, to cover those stalks that have come above it. And we need some here, this portion. Okay, see, now this is just a flat color. What we need is for it to look the shadow or the depth. It's not always adding black or blues about the shadows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some lighter colors. You can see that it's popping out against the dark colors.
Yeah, that does the trick easily.
So
So that's a
you know,
white mixed with pink, is it?
yeah, it's a white mixed with pink. Uh, so this is something I recently noticed. Like what we need to know before painting is see where your light colors are coming. Paint really dark behind it, and also the vice versa. If you need something to be really dark, paint stuff around it really light so it pops out. And another important thing, most people might already know because a lot of people are telling it, make the light lighter and dark darker, especially holds for all opaque mediums. And that actually makes so much of difference when you actually do it. Okay, so what is pending? The
Highlights on
mountain
the
gestures.
mountains.
Okay, so now this part is what we need to do is I'm once again taking my old brush. You can even take the angular brush. It's easier with angular brush, but it's too wet now. We need a dry brush. And you see, I've made one side lighter and one side darker. So taking that, it need not be perfect. It need not be how it's actually seen. It's just we need to depict that there is snow. That's all. I really want to see snow someday. Anybody has seen here? Hi, Anupama. Hi. So, do you have any questions regarding gouache? It's a lot faster, you know. Working with gouache is a lot faster than acrylics or watercolors, of course.
Watercolors.
You don't have to wait for the layers to dry. It's very forgiving. See, this you have to show with this, like, what is the slope? Where is it bending? Where is it going down? Yeah, Meena, let's go together. I haven't seen either. I think we are pretty much done. Just one part. Hi, Akshay. Hi, Joyful Creations. Hi, SK Mohammed. Okay, so I'm taking the dark green color now and I'm using the same brush. You can use any brush you're comfortable with. Just adding some foliage here. Nature is a true artist, isn't it? You see all this naturally growing. You see them as a border.
It actually makes the painting more beautiful.
Yeah. See, if you see in nature as well, you will see that wherever there are two colors blending, there is an extra thing, like, in the fields, you see the separations, but you see all those weeds growing in between that adds the extra factor to it to make the colors look different, the light green and the dark green. I had no reference for this picture. I simply put stuff together.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I have lot of compositions like this. I'm thinking of finally getting to them. They are more than a year old. I've been putting them in a separate book, but never worked on them. Pinterest,
Perhaps
actually
you should
cites.
create a flip through of all your paintings.
I love that. I hope y'all there will be people wanting to watch. I had done actually. That's the least watched reel in my reel gallery. It's so disappointing. I never did after that.
Ah, there you never know, Insta. The things that you think won't reach will reach so big.
Oh,
Even
so
that's happened to
true.
me.
Yeah, things that make no sense have so much reach. I don't know how to figure it out. Okay, see, now this is the important part. You need to blend. I'm taking this green here and blending it. Once again, I'm taking that same green. It's the sap
Okay.
green and blending it here. Looks natural. We do not leave any hard edges unless it's necessary. Okay, I think we are done.
That's quite quick, I say.
Isn't it very easy?
Yeah,
So I think my whites are
perhaps
not
I will
white.
take gouache one of these days.
Sure, I'll be waiting to see what you create. It's really easy.
Definitely from one of your tutorials.
Oh, please, I would be happy. I'm honored. I have one tutorial, a detailed tutorial on YouTube for food illustration.
The recent one, I think I
Yeah,
watched
yeah, it's
that.
the recent one. Yeah. Oh, thank you. There. I think we are done. I'm not fond of adding birds. So I like it as simple as possible. I'm not liking the road too much. Needs to be well worn. I'm adding some burnt sienna. Gouache has mostly flat application. So I think it's important to know where your shadows are, where your depths are. Thank you, Smita. Hi, Swati. Thank you, Mina. So adding perspective make the far off objects look smaller. That's going to make a lot of difference to your painting. And yeah, we cannot have this here. I made a mistake there. So this is another version, something similar. I've added some pine trees and made it look a lot. There is a lot of depth and high rise and everything. See the difference. See. Okay. Hi, Nisha.
I like the edges of the other one.
Yeah, even I love, but it's since I'm used to this one, this is really I need to concentrate a lot. I start putting it in the end. See, I've wiped it off here.
Oh,
It's habitual. It's very you have to be very conscious. Hi, Saroj. Hi, Apurva. Hi. Okay, time to remove, and I really have heart in my mouth. I've always torn paintings. Okay, this is a new kind of tape I found locally. He said it's some type of artist tape. It's really not been tearing off late. Fingers crossed. It's such a joy to watch other artists peel off so nicely. Oh, okay, I don't want to jinx it. Do you use reuse your tapes, Shalini?
actually, no. But what I did after seeing Cookie Art's thing was I've started collecting all my masking tapes with the color edges, and I plan to stick them all together on one paper.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay. I reuse it mainly because it won't tear my paper.
Oh wow. Actually, my masking tape just rolls off once I remove it, so I find it very difficult to reuse it. I tried it
Oh,
a couple of times, didn't work for me. It gets rolled.
I have a collection of used ones. They actually,
Wow.
this is the first time I think I haven't have any torn edges.
That was indeed a very smooth peel, you know.
Yeah, this is the first time. I'm glad. That's nice. So, do we have any questions? Oh, it says Mina's favorite part. For me, it's terrifying. Okay, I have some questions here. Does gouache dry like acrylic? It's more a matte finish. A gouache dries with a matte finish, and that is what is attractive about it. And why do you always use black paper? It's more about like it's more attractive, I must say. It just pops out your painting.